I am not teaching, I am publicly learning. But hi and welcome to Learning for the Life in UK test, part 330, youth courts. That's on the page 131, while doing risk training, and if you participate in the risk training, let's sit on risk. Youth courts. In England, Wales and Northern Ireland, if an accused person is aged 10 to 17, the case is normally heard in a youth court in front of up to 3 specially trained magistrates or a district judge. The most serious cases will go to the Crown Court. The parents of carers of a young or carers. The parents or carers of a young person are expected to attend the hearing. Members of the public are not allowed in youth courts, and the name or photographs of the accused young person cannot be published in newspapers or used by the media. Let's read it to the end. In Scotland, a system called the Children's Hearing System is used to deal with children and young people who have committed an offence or are accused of having committed an offence. Northern Ireland has a system of youth conferencing to consider how a child should be dealt with when they have committed an offence. This sentence can stand like that because it says just if the child has done it, so it can be after the conviction. But I want to add here also if a child is accused of having committed an offence. So, youth courts. England, Wales and Northern Ireland. Maybe that is after that, because Northern Ireland has also the youth court. So there's the youth court in England, Wales and Northern Ireland. In Scotland, the Children's Hearing System. The youth court in England, Wales and Northern Ireland, people, if they are accused of having committed a crime and they are between 10 and 17, come there. If it is serious a crime which they have done, it comes to the Crown Court. And there are 3 specially trained magistrates or a district judge when hearing to the case. The parents or the carers of the accused child are expected to attend. Members of the public are not allowed to attend, and photographs or names of accused persons cannot be published to the public. In Scotland, there's a system called Children's Hearing System, and is used to deal with children who have committed an offence. So in Scotland, the Children's Hearing System, and in Northern Ireland, there seems to be the youth courts also, but also a system of youth conferencing, which looks how to deal with the child who has committed an offence. So that was youth courts. In the next part, we will then continue with criminal courts, but it will then after it also go on with civil courts, county courts, the small claims procedure, then we're having civil courts, and then legal advice. Okay, that is something different. Fundamental principles. Making more of its subjects. The first chapter, no, it wasn't blue. It wasn't blue. It's a different type of blue. So it will go on with legal things, so we're going to come back to this all a couple of times. But that was now for the youth courts, and the next part we will then go on with criminal courts. And if you're just here for criminal courts, then you can go directly to the next part. Otherwise, we're having now risk training. And if you participate in the risk training, sit there on risk. We are doing the spotlight. Hands next to us, form the fist. All this is stable stand. And we're bringing these fists down and up. And we're having 3 rules. The first one is that we're stopping immediately as soon as we feel pain. The second one is that we're going only as far as we can go with a little bit of effort, not more. Don't push anything. And the third rule is that you're not overdoing it. We just want to strengthen it all, not exhaust the muscles. And that has also to do with the overall, you're doing quite a lot of exercises, so you can pause by an exercise or skip an exercise. And don't overdo, just follow that rule, don't overdo. So if these are too many exercises, then don't do 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. Or if it hurts, no one at all. And it's anyway all at your own risk. And now the flashlight we have changed, and the fists going to the outside and to the inside. A last one. And now the pancake flip. Now the magician first. Flat hands next to us, and we bring them to the inside. And to the outside. The last one. And now the pancake flipper. Flat hands, and we're opening them up, and we're bringing them again down. And that is already the last time. Now we're doing the quadrangular castle architect. Both hands out of the fists, and we're bringing these fists to the inside. And now up. And to the outside. And down. To the inside. And again down. To the outside. Up. And to the inside. And now, if this is already too much exercise, we have more than 10 or so left, you can skip this exercise. The hand next to us, and we're bringing it down with the fist, and we're pressing moderately against it. The crab anxious to her feet. And pulling a bit from the outside. Pressing a bit from the top. And a bit from the bottom. On the other side, hand form to fist, we're bringing it down, and we're pressing carefully against it. On the other side, we're pulling. Now press a bit from the top. And from the bottom. And now with T-Rex in the morning. Flat hands out, and we bring these flat hands down. And again down. And down. And the last one. Now with T-Rex in the gym. If you don't have a tennis ball, you can also do it with a bare hand. We just make a strong fist. So we are pressing onto the tennis ball with moderate force, or we're making a strong fist. We're releasing again, and we are pressing again. We're releasing, and we are pressing. And we're switching, and we are pressing. And releasing, and again pressing, and releasing, and the last time pressing, and releasing. Now the cautious big bang. Place the fingertips of one hand on top of the fingernails of the other hand, press a bit, and open slowly, and close slowly. Open again slowly, and close slowly. And we're switching. And one more time. And now we're doing the Field Daisies New Sid Figures Director. Hands in front of us, with fold fists, and we're opening them, and we're closing them. We're opening again, and we're closing again. and we're opening, and we're closing. And the last time, opening and closing. Now the next one, the claw. If you want, you can skip this one again. We're having a flat hands, and we're making the claw, and we're opening again. We're making the claw, holding it for 1 to 2 seconds, and we're opening again. And we're making a claw, and we're opening again. Again a claw, opening, and one last time, claw, and opening. Now the sundial. If you don't want to use a sock, you can also use a tennis ball or something. But if you're outside, let it fall down and try to catch it again, and try to have a straight arm. And we're wandering slowly forward. And toss. On the other side. And now we're doing the, I still can't get what I'm running, walk rose bridge or something like that. We're having flat hands and we're bending them at the knuckles. And again open. And bend them at the knuckles, hold it for a second or something, and open again. Bend again at the knuckles, and open again. Again, bending at the knuckles, and opening. And one last time, bending at the knuckles, and opening. Now, the most extreme exercise, so you might skip this one. We're having 2 more similar ones. Hands next to us, bringing them down with flat fingers, and up with strong fists, the frog testing the water temperature. The fingers down, flat fingers, up, strong fists. Down, flat fingers, up, strong fists. Down, flat fingers, up, strong fists. One last time. Down, flat fingers, and up, strong fists. The next one. The ice axe, flat hand, we're bending at the knuckles, and we're pressing one at a time on top. We have a time, I don't think so. So all together. Hold it a little longer, and open it. The other hands turn, bend at the knuckles, and press on top. And open. And the next exercise, bring the arms in. You can also skip this one. We have one similar. And flex, bring it into flexion, strong fists, open, and into extension of the flat fingers. And again in, strong fists into flexion, open, flat fingers into extension. In, strong fists, flexion, out, flat fingers, extension. In, strong fists, flexion, out, extension of flat fingers. And the last time. Because we have one last exercise, the unfolding rocket boosters. Long straight arms, and we're bringing strong fists into flexion, and then flat fingers into extension. Strong fists into flexion, and out into extension. Again, in and to flexion, strong fists, and out to extension. Again, in, flexion, strong fists, and the last time out, extension, flat fingers, and ending with the inside. And just the relaxation exercise, we go with moderate pressure over the extensor digital muscle. So that muscle here. We're going over it to relax the muscle. And on the other side. And one last one. So it is a muscle which extends the wrist, and it doesn't end here. It are these 4 here. Are the extensor digital. The muscle comes here and goes in here to these 4 fingers. And we have done a lot of this exercise, so we You don't want to relax that muscle. That's it, I don't have more time left. I thank you very much, and until next time.